Right guys, we have a pretty interesting leak that showcases evidence of a pre-production version of the M1X MacBook Pro, and so let's delve into it. But first, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors, and with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so I do want to say that images like this can easily be faked as far as I know, so do take this with a massive grain of salt. But anyways, we have a screenshot revealing information about a DVT model of the M1X MacBook Pro. Now, in case you're wondering what a DVT model is, I think it stands for Design Verification Test, and I think this is the model they use to test final designs before going into mass production. But anyways, the more important part about this leak is the information revealed in this screenshot, because number one, we have our first piece of evidence that showcases the use of the M1X branding. So up until now, there's not been much evidence regarding the M1X name. A lot of us are simply guessing it's going to be M1X, since of course in the past, Apple has used the X moniker with the iPad chips. I think the closest we got to evidence supporting the M1X name were the YouTube tags showcasing the M1X name in the WWDC keynote on YouTube. But apart from that, we're yet to see any substantial leaks regarding this up until now with this screenshot of a supposed DVT model. And of course, since this is a DVT model, I'm assuming the only difference between this and the final version will be the design, but the actual internals should be pretty much near identical. And so yes, it's likely M1X is the final name Apple goes with. Now, in case you need a reminder on the specs we can expect with this M1X chip, it's going to be 8 power cores, 2 efficiency cores, and a choice of either 16 or 32 GPU cores. Now, another thing to note with this DVT model are the RAM and storage configurations. It's 16GB of RAM and 512 gigs of storage, and so I'm assuming this is the base model we're going to get with these M1X MacBook Pros. And I say this because the higher end 13-inch and the 16-inch right now has the same base tiers, and so yes, I expect Apple to carry that over with the M1X models. But I will say that we have heard about the 16-inch getting 1TB as standard, and this would make a ton of sense in my opinion, because unlike the Intel models, where the 16-inch has better performance than the higher end 13-inch, that won't be the case with the M1X models. The base models are going to be identical in terms of performance, and so of course Apple has to give us something to justify the heavy premium for the 16-inch, and so giving us double the storage as standard would be pretty nice. Also, by the way, since we do see these specs in the screenshots, I think this also showcases that these M1X models are not replacing the entry-level M1 MacBook Pro. That's probably going to be staying in the lineup till it gets replaced by the M2 MacBook Air in 2022. And well, I've explained why the M1 MacBook Pro should not exist in previous videos, but as a recap, basically I think there's no space for that model since the M1 MacBook Air is more than enough for most users, and we know the M1X models are going to be for prosumers, and so obviously they're going to be starting at $17.99. A few other things to note with this screenshot. Number one, you may be wondering why it says macOS 12.0 Seeds. Well, I'm assuming that's the name they use for internal betas. And another interesting part about this screenshot is that you can see the location of the device, which hasn't been blurred for some reason, but anyways, it seems to be in China, which does make sense because Apple does produce their MacBooks there, and of course suppliers would be testing these DVT models before they put them into mass production. Anyways, that's about it for this leak, but tell me in the comments below guys, do you think the name of this chip is gonna be M1X or not? Anyways, thank you for watching guys, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. Check out the video in the link above on details regarding the iPhone SE 3, and on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya peeps.